side and deplete it. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to get it going. Okay, this machine is at an angle and it's on purpose. That machine has the locking casters as well. These two casters are locked, so if you kind of bump it, you know, it's not going to roll out of place. Notice this machine goes into live. So as soon as you take the pads away from the trough, it'll replenish. There is ice set up along the conveyor so that it'll always replenish, okay? But I'm just going to go through the functions here real quick. So here, you have your main switch, you have the keypad, no magnet, so it needs to stay on there. You can open the top, and you can open the bottom. Okay, limit switches, safety, okay? You have an LED here that the machine is carrying, okay? This machine, there is no blade. This is a specially converted paper. It's 2 plies, and it's a tube, so, and it's perf. So the machine does not have any blades. It actually tears it, separates it. And that's where the perfs come into play, okay? There's a loading diagram on this one here, on all the chevrons right in here, but it's real simple, real simple. The roll actually looks bigger and heavier than what it is, and that's because of the 2 ply and the way it's converted, it's kind of fluffy, okay? So, let me find the perf. So that's the perf there. So I'm going to clear it out. So both panels need to be closed. The safety switches. You have a reset button here.
Is the E-stop in?
Go ahead and remove some pads, please. I'm just going to clear it out. So the machine will stop. It's out of paper. Okay, same thing as the other one. Okay, that tells you that the machine has no paper and it's not going to run without anything because of the wear and tear. Okay? So as soon as I open this here, there's no power going to it. So now when you get this roll, this one doesn't have a paper plane fold. It just has the tag on here. And if you look at the diagram here, which is kind of hard to, but here, just make sure the lead is away from the machine. That one you want it facing the machine. Here you want it away. So you're going this way here. Okay, you're coming under, back over, here. Once you get to this point here, you open this up. This is a shuttle. When you get to this point here, you want to be able to flare the paper open at 2, okay? Give yourself play, okay? Bring it in here. What I do is I grab the tabs, which are here, bring it in, and then just kind of introduce it right up in there. That's it. When you have a brand new roll, you know, it's going to be, well, twice the size. Give yourself a little bit of play, as we did with the other one too. Okay, we don't want something real tight here, because we're introducing the paper, and if it doesn't grab it, we're going to have to go through the same sequence. Give yourself a little play, lock it, okay? Reset the machine, you could hear it. Okay, now as long as that's empty, the machine will go on automatically. Where's Darren?
Darren, pull some paper off.
Right. Okay, so. Yep, you gotta go a little higher. So now, as long as, we can change the length also, but I believe 20 is, by watching how you guys are packing and all that, 20 is kind of a universal length. This way, if you need 1, it's there. If you need 2, or if you need 40, you grab 2. It just makes it easier than having a long noodle and then you're working with it, or, you know, trying to maneuver it in there. Okay, so 20, but we can change the length. And how we do that is real simple. You press the S, and then it gives you the icon to, right. So then you go up or down with the arrow. So notice it's by 2 inches. So it's 20 and so forth and so forth. The smallest piece is 10 inches. That one is 7. This one is 10 inches. And that's just the way it sets, because what it actually takes from here to there, the encoding is just the machine itself. Okay? I'm going to bring it back down to, I'm going to run some 30s. Can you take it from there? So I'm going to leave it at 30 and then just press the top button. Now as soon as you take the pads out there, the machine, so now you're going to see a different length.
One of the things, guys,
Go ahead and take it out until you get to the 30. That one right there.
yeah, I think that's good.
So you see the length, okay? And with that piece of equipment over there, you know how I kind of mentioned wait for the machine to cut before you pull it? Because if you pull it, then you undo the cushioning, what the machine actually does, and it just becomes paper, okay? Same thing with this one here. You do not want to extend it out because all of a sudden you've just taken the cushioning factors away, okay? This is designed to take up void, okay? Block and brace, void, fill, okay? A little bit of cushioning. When you apply this in a box, our reaction is to do that there, okay? Don't do that, please don't do that, okay? Same thing with that one over there. The more you stuff it, the more room you're gonna make to put more paper in there when you really don't need it. I mean, I shouldn't be saying that, you know what I mean?
Less is more. Yeah, less is more at this paper.
Exactly. So lay the pads in there. If you crisscross them, and we'll go over some methods, you know, as I kind of showed you something. It takes up a lot more space, and the last thing is don't mush it down. Just let it fluff. It's called a crown packaging, okay? And when you close your flaps, everything comes in and locks it in place. And if you do this here, then you take that away. Make sense? Okay? So now, who wants to...
Real quick on that, only because we have some packages, and I think you guys all remember them, when you couldn't put in glass, we don't have that much space between what's inside the box and the volume of the box.
I saw that. In sites,
So,
yes.
I mean, there is instances where when you close the box, you're going to have to smash it, and that's okay, or...
It's okay if the flaps bring it down.
Okay.
It's not okay if you do it.
Okay.
I saw some of the boxes that you were packing. There's a little bit of void on the side. What he did is he took the Chevron pad and wedged it in there. That's what you want to do.
Okay.
And in those cases, you have to do that.
Sure.
Okay, but when you have a void fill,
Yeah.
okay, leave the fluff.
Okay.
Leave the fluff. If you have a space that you need to block and brace or cushion, then you have to kind of work it in there.
Okay.
And you did good on that. I saw you. So he did that, and then he laid a couple on top, crowned it. I mean, so he said he liked it.
Who's working on this side?
You said it,
You did too.
Cameron, Raquel, and Arlino.
Guys, if you're working on this side of the pack stations, this conveyor is not bolted down yet. So we still have things to do to it. So if you start seeing the paper coming off and it starts jumping or skipping, check that. The cord coming out, make sure it's up high enough. Number 2, since it's not bolted down, there's tendencies of the conveyors may come out of line. If they come out of line, push them back in line, and it'll slide down.
Pull it back
Number
to show
3,
the blue pipe.
we don't have enough photo eyes on the conveyor yet, which we're bringing in. So, for example, if you move this, it's going to fit.
The top
But
one. The red one.
The red one?
The red one.
Oh.
Thank you.
So, one of the things you have to be, there's not enough photo eyes yet, so if you're like, why is the paper coming all the way down to where I'm at? It may be because you're not picking it up at the right photo eye. So be conscious of where that's at so we get those in the next week and a half, okay?
And we can move these photo eyes too. So if you're picking from one place on a regular basis, then we'll move the photo eye to where you pick from.
And that's not a problem. With that being said,
Working comfort, we still need to dial it in as far as where you're set, okay? Whenever you change the roll of paper, that's why we have the machine locked, is so that this doesn't move, because if you move the machine and this is out here, then you're gonna have all kinds of, you're gonna have a mess. So if you do move the machine, make sure that it's set in here. I'm going to torque it a little more so it stays a little more rigid. If you're working on that side and the machine is giving you problems over filling and whatnot, pads dropping everywhere, there's an emergency stop button on the other end of that truck. The conveyor. See the yellow box over there with the push button? Okay, there's the same thing on this side over here. So just hit it and that kills the power.
Yeah. When I take it 2 or 3, already I don't have paper anymore. So
We
in
have
that
to
scenario,
adjust the
what is it?
photo line because we don't have enough in here yet
Oh, okay.
for your comfort. So once we're going to dial in where you're pulling from. So it constantly comes and replenishes.
Oh, that's good because I
Eventually,
did.
eventually we're going to have enough in here. It doesn't matter where you pull from. It's going to come wherever you took it from. We're going to have backsplashes up here that stops the paper. Sometimes you're in a hurry, you just hit something, you may not to keep it from falling off. And this is all coming down the line. Just be conscious of that if you see that. Give us a call, we can walk you through it, we will be here until we get everything down and exactly what's best for you guys.
Then we'll anchor it and do all of that so it becomes solid. Okay?
Right now we didn't want to anchor till we know exactly how you like to do it.
Because of that tiny little complaint you might have.
And obviously on this side, it's when you need it. On this side, we'll continue to fill bins like we did with the Paper Plus paper. So if it's needed on this side, that's right now temporarily that's how you will pack with it from a box.
So if we're talking about that along those lines, you guys, we're going to use our cheat sheet and as much as we possibly can. And Misty will help out with this, but we need all of you guys to as well. We're going to, based on the setup, we're going to try and use all of our active picking pack stations for the active books. So when you're going in there, we're going to change it a little bit from what we used to do. For the most part, it was take the next one on top. But now we're going to go by, for instance, Cameron, you're working in this, and I think we want to make that a permanent place for you, get you farther away from what's still a manifest. You're not running into the walls of boxes on the line, even though eventually that's going to be a lot less. But so Cameron, Raquel, Isabel, and then actually I want to change Arlino too. So right now, Cameron, Raquel, Isabel, you guys are going to be doing the majority of the active picking. With the conveying paper system that we have here, it makes sense to take advantage of that. And of course that leaves Edwin, Ruben, and then Orlino. I'd like to change you so you're configured for Cameron's. Yeah, because you can handle the wall boxes. No, because where you're configured now is where that machine is sitting. That extra, the new pack station we created. So we'll move you over here. So Edward, Ruben, Perlino, you guys will be on this side, which then again, makes it more of a natural fit for doing the majority of the glass picking. Case can be on either side. This case is not, this isn't involved. Again, I'm using words like a lot and majority and things like that. We all know that we're at the mercy of the orders that we get. We could have, a day where 90% is active picking. We're going to have active picking on this side, regardless of whether the paper's there. And we're going to have to do things like what we're doing right here, using the totes that we're going to get eventually, the boxes we have now to get the paper over there. For right now, for the immediate near future, we've got bubble, we've got the other paper, we still have some other options. So what I'd like to do until we can get those logistical tools in place to get everything where we need it to be is have Mike, who's doing the majority of our end-of-the-line packing, carton sealing, and manifesting, really no different than you're doing right now. Just know that when a carton comes down the line and it's open, you're going to need to continue to do what you've been doing. If it's a glass item that has bubble in it, or in this case has the pad pack, you're going to need to finish it off and seal it up. If it's a carton that's open and it's filled with the paper, you're going to need to finish that off with the paper and seal it up. So obviously if it's closed up and already sealed, you don't need to do those things. So we'll continue to do that right now until, again, we can get everything in place. And then the goal is that we're going to be, here soon, 100%. Everything going down the line is sealed up, manifested, packing list enclosed, all done. And then all we have left is loading the trailer or getting that done as quick as possible, and then go pick an order and then come back.
I got a question for you. on this side, you said you don't want whoever's doing active to go on this side. On reserves, you got all of it, like a glass case, and you got active. But you said we can bounce back and forth because all our guns are to that computer, right?
Can't bounce back and forth. Yeah.
Okay, so just stay right there, even if I'm doing reserves. Just have my stuff
That'll be your
there.
station. Yeah. Of all of this, we're juggling a few things, unfortunately. Right now, we've got a few overlapping projects. The number one priority is the packing list with the carton, the printers at the pack station, that project. So, if we have situations like that, and you're okay, how do I make, what's the right decision here? Make sure we take care of that one. We've got to go to the pack station because we're limited. We can't bounce back and forth right now. We are throwing around ideas that they've started using in Charlotte of purchasing and having multiple, additional RF guns, so that if we run into these situations, then maybe someday we can reintroduce that flexibility and say, here's a new gun for this pack station. Since you're on reserves, or here's in your scenario, here's 3 guns. So, but we're still a little ways away from that. But that's possibly the direction we're headed. For right now, we've got to make sure we're getting the packing list printed, and then move the paper to where we're at.
Hopefully, in the near future, we'll get you a green machine for this side. So you don't have to walk all the way around.
And you'll have conveyors here too for
Guys,
Chevron.
I'm gonna help you load it and so forth. Have you showed them how to load this machine?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. He already showed you how to load it. Does anybody want to try? You're right here. You're the closest one to it, right?
Why don't we do this?
Well, that's
I was going to say, yeah, I know. I'm just a little bit concerned about the time, and we got the noon wave